Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvadha Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam everyone, very nice to see all of you, and I'm so happy that we are running our second study circle for the year, actually the third study circle for the year. And today's topic, as you can see on the slide, is called Mantra, Yantra and Tantra. Now, what are they? Apart from them being rhyming, what else? What do they mean, right? And why? How can we actually practice them in our daily lives? And everything about it we'll be finding out today. And our presenters for today will be Uncle Rama and Uncle Murthy. So without wasting any more time, I will pass on the session to Uncle Rama to start us off. Uncle, it's all down to you.
Sairam everyone. Thanks Naveen for the introduction. And welcome. Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining this study circle. Today's study circle, as you can see the words there. How many words do you see? 3 words. Mantra, Yantra and Tantra. I'm sure all of us would have heard these 3 words, and some of us could have also used them quite frequently, either knowingly or unknowingly. And there could be a few who may know exactly what these words mean. Yeah, I just spotted someone here who actually knows what we're going to talk about. Guess who? Any guesses? There's one person here who knows what we're going to talk about. You know who or not? It's Brother Murthy, of course.
Uncle Murthy. Uncle Murthy, of course.
So he's one person who will know what we're going to talk about. And how many questions do you see? You saw the 3 words there, and then how many questions you see? You see 3 questions. So I will attempt to answer question 1 and 2, and the last will be handled by Brother Murthy. As you can also see from the slide, there are 3 pictures. See, everything is 3. There are 3 pictures. So the first picture is actually about the mantras. It's about Mahamrityunjaya mantra. And then the second picture you see in the center, that is actually a yantra. This is a Siva yantra. And then the last picture, of course, is a person sitting there and meditating, depicting Tantra. Okay, so now I think all of you should know why Swami is holding up 3 fingers. Okay, so those who are wondering, I think your doubts will be cleared now. So can we have the, okay, before we go to the next slide, I just like to highlight here that what we are going to cover here is only a superficial level, is only the tip of the iceberg. If we were to go deep inside, I think we need separate study circles for each aspect, because there's so much of information, and it's too voluminous to do everything in this one study circle. So we are just skimming the surface here. So I hope you all understand. And then another thing is that these three words, they are not exclusive to Hinduism only. It is also prevalent in Buddhism and also other religions. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next slide.
Before that, Uncle, so if anyone has got any questions, I think you can keep it for the end of the session. But in between, if you all are asking any questions, I'm pretty sure anyone can unmute your microphones and just answer the questions. Am I right, Uncle?
Yes. If they have, we prefer the questions because some of the questions may be answered in later slides.
Yeah.
But if it is a burning question and all that, they have to ask on the spot, I think it's okay. They can always unmute and ask the question.
Okay, fantastic.
No harm. Okay, what is mantra? You can see all the mantras here. As you can see, most of these Sanskrit mantras. The Sanskrit mantras are actually derived from the Vedas. There's a Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. And there are also, you can also see a Tamil mantra. Of course, these are from the Tamil scriptures. And you'll see at the side here, there's also an English mantra. See, so it's actually up to us. We can create our own mantras. It is actually a sound, a statement, or a slogan which is repeated frequently to aid in concentration. It's not necessary a mantra should only be in this particular language. It can be in any language, but the effect is actually a frequently repeated to aid in your concentration. So these collections of utterances are practiced by many religions. Sometimes as hymns, chants, and all that. The next slide, please. Okay, this is the actual meaning of the word mantra. It's derived from Sanskrit. It's actually it's manas, manas, or to think also. There's another explanation. They say man is actually to think. So it's manas, referring to the mind, and tra. Tra actually is a short form for trana, which is an instrument to lift up, to move towards liberation. Okay, then the yes, then the other one is mantra is an instrument of the mind for liberation. And the next point is a sacred utterance with sound in any language for spiritual upliftment in nature. So this can be in any language, like I said earlier, it can be in any language. And another definition I came across when I was reading up for this study circle is from a book called Meditation and Mantras. There is said that mantra is a mystical energy encased in a sound structure. Very nicely said. So I thought I must share it here. And the last one is actually by Swami. He says it means contemplation on what is heard and putting it into practice. So one who does all three, hearing, contemplation, and practice, is a real human being. So this is what he has said for the general mass, generally for everyone. But he has also said something specifically for Hindus. In the next slide, please. Contemplation. This is what Swami says about mantra. Mantra is not a mere collection of words. It is a compounded set of words pregnant with enormous significance. It emanates from the inner power of man. Filled with such power, the mantra, when it's pronounced properly, brings out the divine power in man. The vibrations produced by the utterance of the mantra, uniting with the cosmic nada in the universe, become one with universal consciousness. It is these cosmic vibrations which assumed the form of the Veda, sacred revelations of spiritual knowledge. So what is this cosmic nada? You see, you can see there he has mentioned there uniting with the cosmic nada. Can anyone just let me know what is this cosmic nada he's talking about?
Is it the O?
Yes. Who's that, please?
Ambiga.
Yes, sister. Yes, yes. Of course. Sister Ambiga is here, I think. Yes, Om. That's the one. It's actually the Om, the primeval mantra that initiated creation. The sound that creates a reverberation in the body, which helps the body and the mind to be calm. Another thing about this Om mantra, do you know that this is one mantra that can be chanted by anyone and everyone? Even a person who is physically challenged also can chant this mantra. Even those who have dysfunctional sensory systems, even they can chant this mantra. This is one mantra, like I said, everyone and anyone can chant. So, okay, just for trial, can you all just try yourself. Choose a mantra that you know, and then you just try to chant without moving your tongue. Don't move your tongue and chant the mantra and see. Any mantra. You realize that you have to use your tongue. Whereas for Om, you don't have to use your tongue at all. So you can be in any physically challenged position or so, you can still chant this mantra Om. It's one mantra where you don't need a tongue also to chant. That's the power of this mantra. Next slide, please. Okay, that's about mantra. Now let's come to yantra. Okay, you all can see the pictures there, isn't it? Yantra. Would anyone like to say what the yantra is?
No idea.
No idea. Okay, you see the picture, you know or not? What is it? Have you seen these pictures? Come again?
Column.
Secret codes.
Column. Okay.
Secret codes, bro.
Huh?
Secret codes.
Oh, secret codes. Okay, somebody said column. In fact, the column is also a yantra. You know? It's also a yantra. So yantra, okay, these are the various types of yantra that we have shown here. Okay, and then can someone tell me something which is common in all these yantras? You'll see something which is common in all these yantras.
Star or triangle symbols.
Very good. Who is that?
Chandini here, uncle.
Chandini. Okay. Sorry, I'm not seeing the.
No, it's okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, spot on. The triangle. So you notice every one of these yantras, will have a triangle in different sizes, different locations, but you'll see a triangle there. Why they are using this triangle is because the triangle is supposed to be a focus point for energy. So that's why they're using this triangle. And in these yantras, if you see the triangle, upward facing triangle, that is the masculine aspect of God. And the downward pointing triangle is the feminine aspect of God. So these two joined together is what is the whole self itself. And then besides that, you see triangles on the sides. These are actually to create a balance. And one more thing is most of these triangles, not to say no, I think all these triangles will have a central point called Bindu. So this Bindu is the one which represents the main deity for which the yantra is being prepared. And you can see at the side there of the yantra, there'll be lotus petals, the curves, the lotus petals. So these represent purity and transcendence. Okay, so we'll move to the next slide, please. Okay, I was telling you, isn't it, like Chandani said triangles. Like, okay, why triangles? See, why triangles? You see the shape of this molecule? This molecule is a combination of atoms, and it's in our body as well as in any chemical composition. You'll find these molecules, and these molecules are all the way you see the microscopic picture you see there. You see, it's in the shape of a triangle. And same thing with these buildings. If you look at these tall buildings, what the building we have shown you here is the Burj Khalifa. So if you look at the building, you see the foundation is a broad foundation and it tapers to a triangle. And most of the buildings are built in such a manner that they have this triangular shape, or like you can say our Twin Towers also is similar. And the other thing about triangles, these gopurams, you see most of the temple gopurams, you see all will be in a triangular shape. And that shape along with the colorsome is supposed to attract the universal energy. So when you enter the temple, you will absorb that energy. And the third picture you see is a person sitting in meditation. So when you sit in a meditation in a lotus position, you also form a triangle. And what about the Yagna pit? The Yagna pit is a very good example of a yantra, where they construct the Yagna pit according to certain measurements. And when they light the fire, that also forms a triangle. And of course, why go so far? What about pyramids? Pyramids, you see from any angle, you see pyramids actually a triangle. And you know how well preserved whatever is inside the pyramid, how well preserved they are. So that itself, they are still unable to explain why these mummies inside these pyramids are so well preserved. Because of some energy that they are able to absorb. So that is why they are using these triangles. And the bottom picture, if you can see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see 7 pictures, maybe it's too small for you to see. These are the symbols of the 7 chakras. And if you, even though the chakras, we assume it is circular and all that, but you look at the symbols, all the symbols have a triangle in them. Okay? Okay, then we will just move to the next slide. Okay, this is what a yantra actually is. Like for mantra, you have the man, man, and tra. Here also is a Sanskrit derivative, where yam actually is an apparatus or support. And tra, of course, is something to, is an instrument or a vehicle to lift or to move towards liberation. Okay, the yantra என்ன தமிழ்ல வந்து நீங்க I think you all would have heard of that word ஏந்திரம் ஏந்திரம்னு கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா ஏந்திரம்னா கேள்விப்படல சரி ரஜினிகாந்த் நடிச்சான்ல ரஜினிகாந்த் நடிச்ச படம் ஏந்திரன் that one you all know that one you all should know
Yes.
ரஜினிகாந்த் எனக்கு தெரியும் uncle.
Everybody knows it. You see, Rajinikanth's movie Endran. Okay, that Endran is what actually he's a robot. He's a machine. And once started, he's able to independently move, continue moving. So Endran refers to an engine, something that once started continues to run and generate energy. So yantra actually is a tool. It's a tool that helps to enhance your spiritual journey. Like you see in the second line, yantra is a support apparatus or instrument tool for meditation and contemplation, which helps lift up in spiritual liberation. Okay, that is the yantra. And the last one, they're saying yantras are of geometrical design and traditionally contain the energy of a particular deity as perceived or seen by ancient rishis or enlightened masters. They are visual forms of mantric energy and often containing a mantra associated with it. Yantra is also used for purposes such as to attract harmony, peace, enhance learning and the quality of one's life, promote healing and more. Okay, இங்க எங்கேயுமே இந்த யந்த்ரா வச்சீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு காசு வரும்னு சொல்லவே இல்லை. So there could be, you could have come across people who are trying to peddle these yantras and who tell you, hey, okay, you keep this yantra in your house, you will have loads of money. You may get that kind of, but here you see, it does not say that at all. Okay. Anything else to add here? You see, these yantras are prepared precisely for various related deities. And you cannot, if it's for Amman, then this particular yantra is specifically for Amman. And even in temples, what they do is they prepare this yantra, and normally it's done in copper. They prepare this yantra and then they place it under the idols. And then only they put the idol on top. So this is to give energy to the idol. And why copper? Because copper is supposed to be a very good conductor of positive energy. That's why they use copper. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Okay, now we have come to the mantra, yantra, and then this is the last tra already, tantra. Okay, can someone tell me what tantra is?
Yoga.
Yoga. Okay, in a way, yes.
I don't know if this is being ignorant, but I used to think Tantra is like black magic. Yeah, but yeah, when I hear the word Tantra, like I feel that's what my thoughts used to go
Yeah.
through. lah.
Yeah.
Brother, is it meditation?
Meditation, yes.
Breathing?
Yes, it's a form of tantric exercise, like what the pictures show you there. Huh?
Okay.
Okay, what they show you there, yes, yes. Like earlier I said, Indran actually is yantra, which is the engine. So like here Chandini said, tantra is tandram. What Chandini is saying is tandram. Is that in Tamil they call it tandram, you know. Tandramna to trick or to deceive people. But
Techniques
this
and
is
skill.
not, but tandram is not the word for this. Huh? Okay.
So
Please
that is
don't-
the same word but different meaning, is it, Uncle?
different meaning. Yes, yes.
All right,
yes.
okay.
So do not associate tandram with tantra. No.
All right.
Okay. It may have the same sounding thing, but it's not the same. Okay. Now you can see tantra there. Huh? Okay, you see one person in that yogic pose, that is part of tantra, and then you also see a person doing Surya Namaskaram. That is also a tantra activity. And of course, you see this breathing exercise. They have these various types of breathing exercises they do. These are all related to tantra. And mudras, you know, I think Brother Murthy has done a study circle on mudras. Huh? The various ways you hold your fingers, you press and all that. These are all mudras. These are also tantric. And of course, the chakras, the invocation of all these chakras, that is also a tantra related activity. And of course, sitting there and meditating. Okay, that is also a tantric activity. So we'll just go to the next slide, please.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can we say that these are postures to attract the energy? That is tantra, maybe?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, yes. These are, you see, this is just one part of tantra where these are bodily, physically related activities to attract energy or to move yourself forward, to lift yourself up. Okay. Okay, we'll have the next slide, please. Okay, this is what actually it means. Tantra, okay, this is also from Sanskrit. Tan. Tan is actually to expand, to spread, or to stretch. And of course, Tra is the vehicle to lift you up or move towards liberation. So Tantra literally means instrument to expand the level of consciousness from ordinary to extraordinary, with self-realization as its ultimate goal. Expansion to attain liberation. Be very clear here. Huh? You see the level of consciousness from ordinary to extraordinary. So when you say level of consciousness, everything has consciousness. Everything has consciousness. Even the trees, the whatever you see moving around, all of them got consciousness. Even a rock also has got certain amount of consciousness. And we humans have the highest level of consciousness. So our journey actually is to increase this consciousness to merge. So this consciousness that we are having now is actually ordinary consciousness. So we have to increase this to merge with the universal consciousness, which becomes extraordinary. Okay, so we're moving from ordinary to extraordinary. That is from Jivatma to Paramatma. That is the goal of this journey of ours. So to attain, see, ultimate goal is what? To attain liberation. What is liberation? Liberation actually, finally, you end up with, let's say you merge with the universal consciousness. You will be in bliss. You will be in bliss, and you will be in ecstasy, and you will be full of ananda, something which you cannot describe, something which is beyond words, because it is actually a union with the divine. So it is something. That's why they say it's bliss and ecstasy and ananda. But what happens is, we know this. I hope you all understand. Huh? Do you all understand this concept or not? How from one level we try to move to another level, a higher level, and we try to merge with the universal consciousness. Do you all understand? I hope you all understand this. So it's something which we can understand, because Hindus, most of us, we can understand this concept. But the problem here is when the Vellakaran has assumed, what they have done is they have interpreted this to be a physical union. And if you were to ask Swami Gugalananda, if you were to ask Google, you will see whatever comes out from this Tantra is all about physical relationship and physical union. So this is entirely a wrong concept which has been propagated by the West. So our understanding of Tantra is nothing to do with this. This is our consciousness, not physical. Okay? I hope you all understand that. Huh? Okay, we'll go to the next slide. Huh? Okay, Tantra, I see there are two types of Tantra. Two types of Tantra. Of course, like I told you, external and internal. The external Tantra is the one that we have rituals. We have rituals, we do pujas, we do yagnas, and then we buy flowers, coconut. We do all these kind of things. All this is all external tantric practices. And internal is the one that you saw earlier, where we use our physical body to perform certain things to align our body so that we can attain this consciousness. Like we do yoga, we do breathing exercises, we do meditation. So these are all internal. So internal tantric practices. So that is the difference between these two. Okay. Okay, then we'll move to the next slide, please. Okay. Now we have come to this. I've already done the mantra, yantra and tantra already. Now the second question. Second question is, why Hindus revere and practice them? You can see the picture there. You see, this is the temple scene, and then you see all the rituals. They have got kalasam, they've got coconut, they've got lamb, they've got all these kind of things all there, all arranged. And then the second picture, you can see the yagna is going on, and all these priests are sitting there and chanting mantras. So they're chanting mantras, and they're using this yagna to invoke. Okay. So, what do you all think? Do you think that, do you find any other religion practicing all these rituals? Whether you are a Saivite or whether you are a Vaishnavite, they still do all this. They still do all this. We are very united as far as these rituals are concerned. Okay. So what do you all think? Why do you think we actually still revere and practice all these kind of things? These all, you see, these are, mantra is involved here. Yantra is also involved here. Tantra is also involved here. Why? Why do Hindus practice all this?
Uncle, sorry, Chandini here.
Yes, Chandani.
I think there are like significances why all this is actually practiced, but I feel in today's time and day, we do it blindly. So we don't really know why we do it, or we are just told to do it, so we do it. But I think a lot of significance behind these things, as maybe like my generation, we still know a little bit lah. But I think the current generation, like the ones even younger than us, they just do it because they're told like you must go to temple, so you go temple, and then you must do puja, so you do puja. But why? I think we don't really know. I mean, there is an inner significance based on whatever we read, and even Swami says that's why even in Puttaparthi, they do yajnas and they chant Vedic hymns every day. So there is a reason, but I don't think we really know the deep meaning lah. We just do it like we just follow, go along kind of a thing.
Okay, Chandani. You are spot on, Chandani.
Today I'm striking jackpot lah.
Yeah, you're striking. I must sound like ting, ting. Okay, you're spot on. Okay, we'll go to the next. Okay, there are other things also. Okay, but she's got a very good point there.
And Uncle, there's also some answers, I think, in the chat. If I may just, Auntie Ambiga has mentioned for self-transformation.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. For self-transformation, yes. Okay, probably we go to the next slide and then we can talk on that. Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, you can see here, like what Chandani said, Hindus were taught about our greatness from young. See, from young days, from the time we are small kids, like what we are doing now also, they say, கோயிலுக்கு போ, சாமி கும்பிடு, okay, புள்ளியாட்ட போனீங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணணும். All these things they keep telling us, And then they also tell us the greatness of that, how our religion is so old, it's the oldest religion, it's been there for so long. So when they keep telling you all this, so unconsciously you already have that connection with the religion and its practices. So you may not be a very ardent devotee, you may not be going to temple all the time, but you ask anybody who's some of these people, when they you look at them, these people hardly go to temple, but so you just casually you talk to them and you ask them, hey, you know anything about Hinduism? Oh yeah, எனக்கு தெரியுமே, அதான் பிரம்மா இருக்காரு, விஷ்ணு இருக்காங்க, சிவா இருக்காங்க, the creator, this one, all that they know. Even some children also, you go and ask them, they wouldn't have read any books, but they'll know. Why? Because this information is always being shared. So that connection with that religion is so strong. See? And then the second point, if you can see, scriptures and stories have been imbibed in us. So how many of you actually have taken and read the entire either Valmiki Ramayana or Kamba Ramayana? Of course, some of you would have. I'm not saying no. But majority of us, have we actually gone through the Mahabharata in full? What about Bhagavad Gita? We may not have read all these scriptures, but we know something about Ramayana. We know something about Mahabharata. the basic thing, okay, you ask a small child also, you ask, Ramayana தெரியுமா? Oh yeah, எனக்கு தெரியுமே. ராமா வந்து இது கடல் இதுக்கு காட்டுக்கு போனாரு, அப்புறம் ராவணன் வந்து see, all these kind of things they will describe. And when we were kids, you know, these stories that like the Muruga and Vinayaga, that Palam, that story, that is being told even by our parents to us. So these stories and all that they share is everything is all absorbed by us. And of course, the third point is the rishis, the sages, the Nayanmas. These people also we know about them. We may not have read this Periya Puranam, but yet we know about this Tirunavakarasa. We know something about Trinyana Sambandar, or we'll know something about Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, because all these people, they have done something and they have achieved something, and we know all these achievements and all these things that they have done are all related to the spirituality of mantras, yantras, tantras. Because it's all associated with this, we try to follow what these sages and rishis have done. That is the third thing. And of course, the fourth one is we know the ultimate result, though we may not follow the rules. Is very minor. We know the ultimate result, though we may not follow the rules. That means, see, all of us know that we have come with nothing. We have come into this world with nothing, and we are also going to go, and we won't be able to take anything. That we know, all Hindus know that. You come empty-handed and you're going to go empty-handed. இந்த உண்மை வந்து எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும். ஆனா அப்படி இருந்தும் we try to accumulate wealth. We try to accumulate material stuff. We try to get house. Then you say, oh, ஒரு வீடு பத்தாது, இன்னொரு வீடு வாங்கணும். பிள்ளைங்கலாம் இருக்குல்ல, பிள்ளைங்களுக்குலாம் இன்னொரு வீடு வாங்கணும். ஒரு காடி பத்தாது, ரெண்டு காடி வாங்கணும். So all these things we still continue doing it. Okay, what about this okay, don't go too far lah. You take our 9 code of conduct, 9-point code of conduct. It's in the center. Swami has said, okay, you follow this. Yes, we know we have to follow all this. Are we able to diligently follow all these codes of conduct? We don't. We know about karma. We know its effects. And we know that if you do not conduct ourselves properly, we will accumulate karma for the next birth. எல்லாம் தெரியும் நம்மளுக்கு, எல்லா உண்மையும் நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும். நம்ம வந்து we go to a temple, what we do, we put vibhuti. What is the vibhuti actually is ash. And the ash, what is the ash symbolizes is telling you, one day you are going to become ash also. So it is supposed to bring humility into you. But even then also, do we practice everything to be humble? So இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பண்றது இல்லை. So when we don't do all this, what happens is, we know, okay, இதெல்லாம் நம்ம பண்ணல. At least let's go and do something. Let's go and do something to redeem ourselves. They know Hinduism is so merciful and is so accommodating. They try to endeavor to redeem themselves by following all these rituals. கோயில சாமி கும்பிடுறது, pray பண்றது, then do puja, do yagna, all this. So these are the reasons why somehow or other we are still so connected to these practices. Okay, yeah. Okay then. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, this why Hindus revere and practice them. Okay, this you can read. In most Hindu forms of worship, you see the elements of all three are present or deeply intermingled. That is the mantra, yantra, and tantra. All these are present. They are also present in the Vedic sacrificial ceremonies. Mantras are used to invoke gods, yantras to construct the sacrificial pit in specific geometric formations, to impart them to certain purifying and magical powers. And Tantra is to discipline the body before or during the ceremony and to sacrifice the body and or its elements during the sacrifice. So here, when they say sacrifice the body, is actually sacrificing all the negativity in us. So we go on a fast, we observe certain things to purify ourselves. That is what they say, sacrifice the body. Okay? I think, yes. More or less, I finished my part of the study circle. So I will now pass it over to Brother Murthy. Thank you so much for listening.
Saram, everybody. Thank you, Brother Rama.
Thank you,
wonderful
sir.
explanation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother.
Now, Brother Rama has conducted part of the study circle by asking why, what is mantra, tantra, and yantra, and also he explained why Hindus revere and practice them. So now the question comes, the next question is, so we know what is mantra, tantra, yantra, and all this we know, and the Hindus revere them. How are we going to practice it now? So although we knew, now we're going to know how we are going to practice, when, where to use them. Okay? It's like a state of questioning. We are questioning ourselves. Okay, எல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு எனக்கு எப்படி நான் பாய்க்க போறேன் எங்க பாய்க்கலாம் எப்படி பாய்க்கலாம். Okay, that is a kind of a questions that should be run in our mind now after listening to this. Okay, let's look into first how. How can we do it? How can we practice that? Okay. First and foremost is we need to change our lifestyle from hurry, worry, and curry to calm, patient, and suffering. Another word is offer every action that we do to God, to the Creator. So any action that we do, so it has to be a positive action, then only we can offer to God. Okay? So this word hurry, worry, and curry, hurry is something that we do everything hurry, lack of time, we tend to drive fast, cause more and more problem and all that. Okay? And then we worry over many things in life. Okay? You all know this. Hurry and worry, you all know. This word curry is actually referring to food, the food part that we take. Okay? So the remedy for that is we come, develop more patience in us, and try to consume more sattvic food in nature. Okay? This is our first thing before we move into all the how we are going to use all these three in us. Okay? The second part is how to use the mantras. Chant mantras with proper intonation by understanding its meaning. We have done many what they call a talk in our center regarding mantras, how to chant mantra properly and all that. Okay. Yet sometimes you can see people chanting it very differently, and you know it is wrong because of the pronunciation. In Sanskrit, if the pronunciation is a little bit wrong, it goes to a different meaning. So that is why they say pronounce it properly. So learn the mantra. While learning, learn the meaning. So when you chant with the meaning and with the proper intonation. Okay, that is for mantra. Now, second is the yantra. Okay, a proper yantra may help us in seeking what we desire. Okay, many people cheat for the sake of money. Remember, we can get enlightenment without it also. Our body is the ultimate yantra. So here what we are saying is, a mantra can help you. Some people use this, not mantra, yantra. Some people use yantra, especially meat yantra, for meditation. So what they do is, they take the yantra, put under a mat. They sit on top of it. So when they do meditation, what happens to us when we close our eyes, or when we open our eyes, we can't do meditation because we are distracted. So we tend to silence all our senses. So we close our eyes. The moment you close your eyes, what happens is our thoughts run like a horse or jumps like a monkey. So the concentration part of the meditation is very, very difficult. So what this yantra will do is, it will try to calm us down, and also the energy in the yantra will remove the thoughts in us that is running around. So slowly by slowly, we tend to concentrate better and then move to the next level, which is the contemplation. So a yantra can help us in the meditation. I'm talking a mechanical yantra that is sculptured in a copper, okay, or sometimes even drawn. Copper is better always, because why? Copper, what do you call it, absorbs energy and it stores and it can release. So that is why sometimes, the cups that you drink, silverware இருக்கும், அப்புறம் bronzeல இருக்கும் அந்த cup. Okay, so this is very good. When you pour water in it, the water gets energized. It's best to say a mantra and then you drink. So that is why we say a yantra made of copper is very good. And many people cheat for the sake of money here. Means uh, sometimes they want to sell you something, like what Brother Rama said. But that is not a proper yantra for you. But for the sake of money, they will say, okay, la, take it, take it. Later, I will show you one example, what I encountered. That's towards the end, I will share with you examples. Two examples I will share with you. And I will talk about where people cheat for the sake of money. Okay. And Swami have said that you can reach enlightenment without all these tools. So if you don't have a yantra, don't have to go and rush and buy one yantra and keep in your house. Not really necessary. Okay? Because Swami said your body is the ultimate yantra. If you look at the yantra just now, Brother Rama showed in the picture, you can see triangles, you can see some circles, some lotus, and also you can see some exit, and then entrance and exit. That is inlet and outlet. If you take a water tank in your house, for example, the water tank has two, one is inlet where the water to come in, and there's one outlet to go. Okay, and look at our body. We also have an inlet. We eat food, we drink water, we take the air in. Okay, but at the end, we also have an outlet where the food come out as a waste. Okay, we have a liquid comes out. We also have gas coming out. Of course, they are not as beautiful as how it came in the inlet. Okay, when they come outlet, it is quite smelly, but it's okay because that's how our yantra works in our body. So our body actually is a yantra. That's why Swami said your body itself is the ultimate yantra, because it has all that necessary. The chakras that we have in our body, okay, is also yantra for us. Okay, and okay, we will move on to the next one. Later, I'll explain the next slide. I'll explain more about this yantra, when and where I'll explain it. Now, coming to Tantra, for Tantra, firstly, if you are doing a regular exercise, it's already very good. Okay, like walking, jogging, swimming, etc. You're playing badminton, tennis, all this is already very good for your body. Okay, this is a physical exercise that we do. Apart from that, you can do another physical exercise we call yoga. And yoga, many of us think it is an exercise. Although it looks like an exercise, actually yoga is a posture that you do with our body to be union with the universal, to the universe. That is God. Okay? That's actually a posture that you do. A proper yoga master will teach you this. When you do yoga, where you must breathe in, when you must breathe out, and how your hand must be positioned. Okay, sometimes some yoga master use the direction when you do some yoga. So the yoga actually is also part of, though it looks like an exercise for the body, actually it is to be a union with God. Okay, and talking about yoga, it may not be suitable for all the ages, especially when you are above 65, 70. You never done yoga when you are young, and suddenly you want to do it at this age. You can't do a lot of postures. Suddenly you come at 70 years old, never done yoga, and you want to stand upside down. Difficult for you. It's quite impossible. You may break your body. So it may not be suitable for all. Then you can move from yoga. Okay, once you still your body very well, you can move another step that is called mudra. yoga mudra, where we use our hand, okay, to do mudra. The mudra is also to harness energy in. Okay, this is also part of the tantra. After that, you do pranayama. That is the breathing exercise. The nostrils, the air that you take in one nostril, release another, and there are many pranayama yoga. Okay, from there you move to dhyana yoga. That is meditation. It's part of a yoga, very quite a higher level of yoga. So this is all comes under tantra. How to use them? You can, if you are practicing this, then you are practicing the proper tantra. Right? Yeah. And then the yantra, as we said earlier, is your body. Your body itself is a yantra, even though you don't have a proper yantra that to be made and then used. Okay, coming to tantra, the prayers and ritual, as what Brother Rama just now said, there's two dimensions in tantra. One is inner self by doing yoga, mudra, pranayama, and dhyana. The other one is when you do prayer ritual. If you can understand the inner meaning when you do any prayers or any ritual, it's also very good enough because you know the inner meaning of what you do. Okay, some people they really cannot do yoga. They are not so happy doing mudra. They totally cannot do dhyana. I mean meditation. It's okay. You can carry on with by doing rituals, prayers. Okay, but understand the inner meaning when you're doing it. Okay. Now we'll move to the next slide. When and where. Okay, when and where to use or to practice them. You can practice them anytime, anywhere you can practice. There's no fast and rule that says, oh, only this hour you can do this hour. Prayer, you can do prayer anytime, not necessarily morning and evening. We are telling do prayer morning and evening is simply because morning you're at home, evening you're back home. Okay, so that is why we say at least pray morning and evening. Actually, prayer can be done anywhere. Similarly, you can do all practice all this anytime, anywhere. Morning you can chant. Those housewives at home while you're cooking, you can still chant a prayer. Sometimes before we eat food, Surah can be chanted anytime in a day. There's no specific to say that you can only do it this time and the other time you can't do it. There's no such thing. And coming to yantra, yantra can also be used anytime. In our altar, if you make a plate like that, you can leave it in your altar. During meditation, as I explained earlier, you can put it on the bottom and you can sit on top of it and then you can use it. Sometimes, as the picture says there, you can see the picture on your right hand side. We use strings in the hand. We go to temple, Tamilல சொல்லுவாங்க மந்திரிச்ச கயிறு. Okay, we tie handstring. And then some people used to wear the utrasa kotta. You have all this over your neck, mala, utrasa mala, you can wear this. Okay. And then this is all yantras, part of the yantra. Just like the column, all these are also yantra that is in the body. This tayate, or they call tayam, short form in Tamil. Okay, this tayate is something very small that you tie over your neck or your arm or your waist. Okay, an enclosure, silver enclosure or made of bronze, copper. You can also, there's some words written in it and then they will put. This is to create energy again, tayate. And you can, nowadays they make a small yantra, very small yantra, and you can put a very thin plate so you can put it in your purse, wallet. And another one is Arnyang Kodi or Arnyang Kairu. This is what in Tamil they call Arna Kodi or something like that. இது வந்து உங்க வேஸ்ட்ல கட்டியிருப்பாங்க. They tie the waist. So normally what they do, when child is born, when they cut the umbilical cord, part of it they will bury, throw or bury. So what they do is they will take a little bit of this umbilical cord. They will make a small the opening in a what do you call this tayate. They will open and then they will put this umbilical cord inside the silver closure and then they will lock it. And they will tie it around your waist. This is to protect any evil to come and attack that young child. Okay, they will tie it on the child. When you are older, I also studied this. Sometimes women were asked to wear the Arna Kodi in the form of a gold. They will make out of gold and then they will wear. They will even ask men to wear. If you have money, you can make it out of gold. If you've got no money, you can make it out of silver. You can wear that. Okay, when you're wearing that, that is for the lower part of your stomach, where your reproductive system is there. So when you're wearing this is a yantra for the lower part of your abdomen, where the reproductive system will be very fertile. Those days they used to wear. Nowadays we find foreign things in our body. We try to reduce as much as we can. But those days they used to wear. They're very fertile. நீங்க பார்க்கலாம், those days children, they will have 10 children, 12 children, up to 16. Why? Because they are very fertile. Nowadays, because of stress and all their work, we can't really have that many children, and including our finances and all that. Okay, these are all called yantra. Don't think yantra means just a plate or a drawing and all that, okay, with triangles and all. This is also called yantras. This is to create energy and to protect you, okay, and to help you calm your mind and all that. This yantra will do it. Okay. Now we will come to the tantra. Tantra can be practiced anytime, anywhere, but it requires some quiet atmosphere. You can see bottom, the two pictures there. A person is doing a breathing exercise, and another person is doing a meditation. See, to do this, you need some stillness, some quietness, atmosphere. So then tantra can be practiced very well. And we, when we are doing this study circle, I realized that we owe so greatly to a person, a saint called Agastya Muni. Agastya Muni is a saint who brought this yoga and this yantra and all these things. He explained very well how all this works, and by doing yoga, pranayama, and meditation and all, we can attain enlightenment. So this person is a very great person. His name is Agastya Muni. You can Google up, okay, how great was Agastya Muni. And talking about this tantra, like what Chantini said, it's a tricky and all that. It is not tricky. In Tamil, when you call tandram, tandra means smartness. Okay, mostly we use mandra tandralam vaikkiran appadinu. So we always try to connote this tandra into negativity. Actually, tandram means your smartness. So when you want to attain enlightenment, you can still use your smartness. Smartness just means you use your mantra, you use your body as your yantra, and tantra is all those silent energy harvested during the meditation, during your yoga and all that. Is also you're doing in a tantric way to attain. So tantram actually can be used in a negative way and also in positive way. But most of the time we tend to equate tantram into a tricky way. So something very negative. And the West has a wrong misconception as what Brother Rama said. Because tantra is something to do your consciousness. So they think the consciousness here means in Hindu, in the tantra here means liberation, expansion to liberate. So you expand your consciousness to merge with the universal consciousness. So not to merge with another consciousness and another person in front of you then. Okay, this is not, although West accept this. So the Indians now, we don't look at our ancient, we look at what the West thinks about us and we follow. Actually, that's a wrong concept. It's a misconception. Any yogic master will say this is a misconception. That is not the right way. Okay, now another way I can put it. Okay, let's look at the conclusion, what Swami said. Then I'll explain a little bit more into this mantra, yantra, and tantra. Move to the last slide now. Okay, let's see what Swami has said. It's quite long, but I have no choice because this is truly his own word. So it's better for us to read what he has exactly said. Okay. He said, Yantra, mantra, and tantra, all the three are latent in human beings. We are repeating the mantra Soham 21,600 times a day. Average, average person, average time that we do breathing. So Soham means I am God. So and Ham, I am God. So human body is the yantra. Who is responsible for making the heartbeat? Who is responsible for the digestion, blood circulation in the body? The eye, which is not even an inch in size, is able to see the stars, which are millions of miles away. The eardrum, which is small in size, is able to receive sounds from far off distances. So the television and telephones are within our body. For telephone, you need ear and mouth to talk. Okay, and nowadays we can see the face also. So television is something that we view through our eyes. Okay? So having been endowed with such a powerful yandra, the body, and the sacred mantra that is the Soham, it is a shame if we do not work for the redemption of our life. And Swami simply put, Hirdaya is the Tantra, Soham is the mantra, and body is the yantra. Okay, Hirdaya is the Tantra, Soham is the mantra, and body is the yantra. Okay, now let's take an example here. We wanted to, all of us wanted some enlightenment. Okay, ஏதோ மோக்ஷா இந்த ஜென்மத்திலே நம்மளுக்கு மோக்ஷா கிடைச்சா ரொம்ப நல்லது, லிபரேஷன் அப்படின்னு எல்லாரும் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம். Okay, so in order to do this, Swami says first the mantra, okay, the Soham, or any mantras that you are chanting. Okay, for example, mantras is for the mind. Okay. The moment you start chanting mantra, very often your body, your blood, everything is infused with that tone. Okay, the mantra that comes in the form of a musical, a kind of a rhyme. Okay. Every mantra you see, you say it in a different intonation. So if you look overall, it is like a or kind of a rhyme that comes in. And so that runs in us. Then good things. That means our body always doing positive. Okay, that's the yantra. So the yantra now becomes very, very positive. That's the body which does the action. Okay, our eyes, our ears, our taste, our tongue, everything. All. So now the yantra is also purified. So what happened is with both these are purified, then we use the yantra, sorry, the tantra, that's a body where you tend to harvest this energy, because now our mind is what do you call it, very positive. The senses in our body are also not positive. So what we do is now we harness the energy in our body. That is by using this tantric way, by doing yoga, by doing breathing, finally by doing meditation. If we can bring the energy close to our Hirdaya, Hirdaya is the spiritual heart. When we bring this positiveness to our Hirdaya, what happens is, this is the part where in the meditation, where our self consciousness merges with universal consciousness. When you merge with the universal consciousness, we attain what we call bliss, ecstasy, and ananda, or a kind of a joy that is very, you cannot describe it in the form of a word. So a person who attains this, there's no word to describe it. So they are unable to describe that. And they will say, very nice, very nice. So, so when you do this, then you can attain. But to do that, you need to calm your mind, that's through your mantra. Then you need to have control your body with all your senses. Then with all this, when you do meditation, that you bring the energy to your Hirdaya, where from here, you link up with your universal consciousness. So your self-conscious linked with the universal consciousness. It merges with the universal consciousness. Or in other words, we can say Jivatma merging with Paramatma. Scientifically, we can say that is microcosm, okay, merging with macrocosm. That's universal. So this is what all about this mantra, tantra, and yantra. All this is related not anywhere else, but it's all within us. Anybody don't understand? Okay, I'll give you a little bit more. I give you two examples that I've encountered. One is very simple. Once I went to this Klang, Klang, Jalan Tunku Kelana there I went. And I went to a shop where they sell all the silverware, our daily use and all that they will sell. And what happened was I went through a place where they sell God's pictures and all. And there was this yantra. They put a yantra there. And in that yantra, I was looking at many yantras there, some for the deity and all. And suddenly the salesman came to me and told me, whether this yantra is very powerful. I asked him, what is it for? And then he told me, this yantra will bring you a lot of money. நிறைய காசு வரும் கோடீஸ்வரனா வந்துடுவீங்க இந்த யந்திரா வாங்கி வச்சீங்கன்னா வீட்டுல. And கோடீஸ்வரன் means you will become a millionaire. And the price of the yantra is 75 ringgit. I'll ask you now a question. 75 ringgit is the yantra. How can that yantra can give you millions out of 75 million? If something is going to give million, you should be selling the yantra of a few 100,000, not for 75 ringgit. And then I put it back, because I was merely and I was laughing to myself. And as I'm putting it back, he said, no, you take it to the counter, they will reduce the price somehow. So you see how people are marketing the yantra in the form of a copper plate and just to make money. That's why I say, don't get cheated. Okay? But a proper yantra, okay, why I came to have this study circle. I was reading, I can't remember where I read this. Swami, when he walks in the darshan in Sai Kurban Hall, one day while he was walking in the darshan, we give letters to Swami. Very commonly, you can see that people giving letters. And there was this man, he showed a yantra. And Swami was collecting the letters, saw this man and came to him and just touched the yantra and smilingly told him, yes, correct, that is my yantra. He told that man, oh, yes, that is my yantra. And Swami smiling. Swami didn't say, Swami no need any yantra. It's an avatar. Smilingly and went off. And what happened was this man, what he did was, he took Swami's date of birth, his time, his nakshatram, everything, and then he made a yantra for Swami. So Swami recognized it by a single look. Swami recognized about his yantra and just blessed him. So I was thinking, a man can make and Swami can tell that is my yantra. So all of you, if you have money, if you have little belief in that, okay, it's not going to give you enlightenment. It can help you a little, okay, in terms of energy. As I say, yantra is yandiram where it gives you energy, And if you can, I don't think so. We have any yantra specialist in our country. You can source it in India, and it's not done very fast. It will take time for them to do it, and you can have this, then you can bring. Otherwise, if you cannot, then never mind. As Swami said, you don't need all this to reach enlightenment. Okay, and yantra also can be used for different deities. And what is the point having a yantra in the altar and you don't even say proper mantras, you don't even understand the mantras, or you don't even pray? What way it can help you? Okay, it really can't help you much. So it is just an energy form to help us a little, as to support us in the path of spirituality to attain enlightenment. Okay, another story. Okay, I know a family, my father's friend. This man, he wife and he got 4 kids. This man, he drinks a lot. Okay, And my wife has, my father has advised him, don't do this, you got a wife, you got a children, please don't do this. But this man never listened, he's already an alcoholic. So the money that he earns, drinking, not enough money for the family always suffers. And in the family, there's one boy who is so pious. And he goes to India very often and he brings these yantras and he put the yantra, he buries some in front of his house, he will put it in the entrance of the house, he have a yantra in the hall, he have a yantra in the dining, he have a yantra in the altar. Everywhere, when I go to their house, you can see yantra. Yet, with all these yantras there, this family got no peace. The husband one side like that. When the children start working, they are also giving a lot of trouble in the house. So the mother is always unhappy, unhappy, unhappy. I don't know if it's a karma or anything like that. But then I used to think, you have all these and that Kaval Devam Ayya, and they have all these rituals and everything. Yet the family is not in peace. Every time the wife will come to my father and cry in my house. I'm playing the wife is a very good wife. We know. In fact, our relationship with the family sustained because of the wife. But yet, a life is not very peaceful. Though they have all these yantras at home. So, you see, it's not really not necessary. That's why Swami says the yantra is actually in our body, not anywhere else. Okay? And today we don't have time, and I can't go very deep into this. In another way to put it, Swami say we have three gunas, Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. So when we put all these three, the mantra, the mind power is Sattvic, okay, and the yantra, which is the willpower in us, is the Raja quality, and the tantra, which is the body power, the energy that you hours and send it finally to your hridaya, is tamasic. Tamasic here does not mean that you are laziness. Tamasic is in the form of a spiritual because it is still sattvic in nature because it's bringing you towards inwards to your hridaya. That is your spiritual heart in order to attain the bliss, that is to connect with the supreme consciousness. So these three are also linked together, but we can't go very deep in because we may not have the time to do it. And those of you, those students, those of you are working, those of you are doing business, okay, it is simply put, this three is simply put like this. To reach any goal in your life, okay, you have to use the three powers which are naturally gifted to you, namely the mind power and the body power and the power of your intention, what you wanted to do, your ultimate. You have to rely upon your mind and speech. So that's the mantra method. Okay, mind and speech is mantra method. And to become self-aware and or to let others know what you need. So desire or wish to manifest. Okay, this is all about the mantra. Then you have to use your willpower and determination to train your skills, gather necessary resources, and create right conditions and circumstances. That is the yantra. Okay, first is a mantra, now the yantra. Okay, and why you create the condition and circumstances is to manifest them. Finally, you have to make adequate physical effort. Okay, that is the tantra, to give shape to your dreams and desires and to make it happen. Okay, without the tantra again, tantram, the form of smartness. You have to use this to shape your dream and desire and to make it happen. This is not really into a spiritual, but this is those who are studying, working, you want to achieve your dream. These three still apply. Again, it's the body power, your mind power, body power, at the same time, the energy power, that is the tantric, to reach your goal. Okay, that ends the study circle for today. Any questions you can ask me, or Brother Rama can answer.
Thank you very much, Uncle Rama. If there's any questions from anybody, you can ask now.
Saram, Uncle.
Right.
Thanks for sharing. I don't think it's a question, lah, but I think um, maybe it's a question. Like what is it that we can get from knowing these three different things? I don't know if I was actually thinking of this like throughout the study circle, but maybe in a way Swami actually answers it in this conclusion slide. So basically, we just need to practice all these things that Swami has mentioned about, right? Like meditation or, chanting mantras properly, those kind of things. And then that should help us to attain liberation in a way. Is that like the take home message? Because like, okay, now I understand what is Tantra, Mantra, Yantra in terms of definition and, the different kind of practices. But for us, like, taking from Swami's message itself, is that the take home message that we should actually indulge in this kind of practices, and that will actually help us to, ultimately attain liberation? Maybe not in this life, but eventually. Is that the take home message?
Yes, Chandini, you got it. You got the point correctly. So you're listening very carefully.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, just trying to like make it simple for my brains to kind of like understand, like, it's good we know all these concepts, but like how to put it into practice, I think that is summarized quite well. I think the Uncle Murthy said, right, no need to have this copper plate. And I mean, of course, if we want, then we can. But the main thing is us itself, our body, and how we actually do practices to help us eventually attain that. I mean, that's what I take back lah. Yeah. Thanks, Uncle Rama and Uncle Murthy.
Thanks,
Yes,
Chandni.
thank you, Chandani. Actually, when you come to our center, now we are doing everything online. When you come to the center for bhajan, you see, the first what we do is we do meditation. Okay, we do meditation. It is for the also for the mind. When you do meditation, because first we start with mantras, right? Mantras is the mind, and then we do clapping hand. After clapping hand, we still say mantra. At the end of everything over, we ask God to sit silently. We put Swami's mantra before we get up, right? Okay. What we are doing is first we have these mantras. Okay. Then the yantra is the body clapping, and all the time we were thinking about God. Okay, looking at the photos or even in the slide, the pictures with the words, the meaning, everything. At the end, when everything is over, we sit quietly. That is actually harnessing the energy back to your Hridaya. In fact, every bhajan day we are doing this already. Only thing we have to keep on practicing, then yeah, we can attain liberation. But it's quite difficult because we have too many attractions and all. But it is possible. So Swami's way is actually very simple. He never asks you to get this, get that, go and bathe in the Ganges river, go to Kailasam, or go to this temple, that temple, Kasi Rameswaram. No, nothing. Swami says, very simple. If you follow Swami's way, it's actually very simple, less money spent. And yet you can attain
Completely
liberation.
agree. Yes, Uncle. I completely agree with that. I think like everything is actually summarized very well in Swami's teachings. Right? Like, even if you can practice one thing properly, I think we will actually start being able to put all this in line. Like, even if it's something as simple as Swami says, right, unity of thought, word, and action, even that itself ties in with whatever I think we have been discussing so far. Yeah. Thanks, Uncle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Do we have any other questions? Okay, I think we don't have any more questions. So, Uncle, you want to just conclude anything?
Uh, just one small example. There was once Brother James Corn from Kapong Center. Brother James in Kapong Center always organized this Gayatri chanting, in his center. There was once when Brother Nathan was around. He was the state spiritual coordinator. So he told me, can you come and help me? So me and my wife went there morning. In fact, our center got a slot to chant the Gayatri mantra. But I stayed from morning until evening, me and my wife. When we came back home, something very surprising happened. We slept. Of course, we are very tired, from morning to evening sitting there, and so it's very tired. But that night we slept. We had a very peaceful sleep, no dream, nothing. The next morning when I got up, I shared this with my wife and she said the same. I told her this Gayatri mantra was running in my mind and I could feel it's running in my blood. The mantra, because morning to evening chanting, So it was running in my blood. So imagine that mantra is already in our body infused. It could have been very easy for us to move our level, a conscious level, to a higher level. So that is what I say. The Soham Swami says 21,600 times you're chanting Soha is actually running in our blood. Only thing we don't realize and we don't make full use of it. That's all, Naveen. I thank Brother Rama for helping me out in this. And thank you, Brother Naveen, for technical.
No need, thank you, brother. I hope it has been beneficial for all of you. That's all.
Thank you, Uncle Rama. Thank you, Uncle Murthy. Thank you very much for this very informative session. I think, Chandani helped to summarize the whole session as well very nicely. At the end of the day, we just need to follow Swami's teachings, as everything is latent within us, right? All these concepts of mantra and tantra and yantra, it's all within us. So we just need to tap into it and practice it as much as we can. And I think that should be our ultimate goal, right? Yes, thank you very much again. And thank you everyone who joined us today. We will just end the session with our usual prayers, and we'll see you all again soon in the next session. So let's end with the prayer. Om Shanti 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 Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you so much. Our next session will actually be a satsang, which will be conducted by the education wing, and that will be next month on the 9th of April. So please stay tuned to that. Details will be given soon. So thank you again, everyone. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Sairam.
Bye, Ram.
Thanks,
Thank you, Naveen.
Naveen, and thanks, Sister Chandani, also to help out. Thank you so much, Sairam.
No problem, Uncle. Hi, Ram, everyone.